Thanks for staying up late with us tonight. The Mississippi legislature is giving the go-ahead for a teacher pay raise. Both the Senate and House approved a $1,500 raise today. If you've been following this teacher pay bill, you know it's had a few different versions. The Senate version was $1,000 over 2 years, and the House was $4,000 over 2 years. Courtney Jackson shows us how they arrived at the new amount today.
The teacher pay raise amount is more than what leaders first said was feasible. So where'd they find more money?
Just the $1,000 pay raise was going to be a little over $50 million. And there was a little calculation error that there was some federally paid teachers that had been included in that. And so they were able to pull the 12 or 13 million out of there. And so we more or less instantly said, well, with the money we have, what kind of pay raise would that generate?
That's what led to the $1,500 amount that the Senate took up first thing Thursday. Some of the debate was familiar.
It's not funny. I mean, is it some legislative joke you all pulling on the teachers?
The attempts to raise the amount in the Senate.
Can you tell me what area we might cut?
Fell short, and they ultimately passed the bill. In the House, the education chairman was frank on his thoughts about the raise amount.
Came to a compromise of what we could handle, what we could do for the teachers and the assistants. It's not where we want to be, it's what we can do.
The Democrats' push for more was more specific in the Senate.
Direct our chairman to tell the Senate that the House took a firm position in favor of a real and significant teacher pay raise this year at $4,000 implemented over 2 years, $2,000 a year. We can do this, folks.
That motion failed and the $1,500 raise passed, but education advocates
are angry and we are disappointed. $1,500 does not prove the value, does not get us near to that southeastern average.
Now they're asking educators to speak up in the form of their votes in the upcoming statewide election. Courtney Jackson, WCBI News.
The bill now goes to the governor. If it passes, it takes effect July 1st. Well, getting a raise has been a battle that teachers have been fighting for the past several years now. Our Quentin Smith, he joins us live in the studio with reaction from an area teacher about the raise that was approved today. Quentin.
Yes, Scott, one school teacher tells me they were in desperate need of a pay raise. In fact, she says oftentimes teachers have to spend their own money to buy supplies for their classrooms due to the lack of state funding. However, with this new pay raise, although she's thankful for the extra dollars, she believes teachers still deserve more money. For Autumn Bankhead, teaching is in her DNA. Her mom taught in the Oklahoma School District, and now she's following in her footsteps.
I love the impact that we have on students, sometimes personal, mostly academic, always looking for the end goal. What will they become in the future?
Educating her students and guiding them down the right path is what this 5th grade math teacher enjoys. However, what she doesn't enjoy is seeing the lack of funding that teachers in Mississippi have been receiving.
Many of us feel that we are the lowest paid educators in the nation. So many teachers have to have multiple jobs just to make ends meet.
State leaders are now trying to change that with this recent pay increase. Lawmakers have agreed to give teachers a $1,500 pay raise. That's roughly an extra $125 a month before taxes. Bankhead says she's grateful to see the pay increase. However, she would have liked to have seen that amount go higher.
$1,000. That's not enough. $4,000. That's a start. $1,500. Well, not enough, but it will help, and maybe they can come back next year and try again.
Bankhead says teachers don't have enough support from the state legislators, which she believes is the main reason they're constantly fighting year after year to receive more funding.
A lot of people who finish school here, they will go elsewhere because there's more money. You can cross state lines and make $10,000 or more what you will receive in Mississippi. So it's hard to keep someone in Mississippi knowing that the pay is so low.
The elementary school teacher admits at times it can be tough being a teacher in Mississippi due to the lower pay and lack of support. But she's optimistic that with this new pay raise, it'll now spark a change.
Our students in Mississippi do have a need and they have a desire to learn, and we have a passion to teach them. So for that reason, it is hard, but it's worth it.
Now, the pay raises are only for this upcoming school year. The bill also allows for assistant teachers to receive a $1,500 pay raise as well. Scott?
Thank you very much, Quentin. An abortion rights group is asking a federal judge to block a Mississippi law that bans most abortions once a fetal heartbeat can be detected. Now, today, the Center for Reproductive Rights expanded a lawsuit it filed last year challenging a Mississippi law that banned abortions after 15 weeks of pregnancy. A federal judge declared that law unconstitutional. Governor Phil Bryant signed the heartbeat bill March 21st. It's set to become law July 1st. It's one of the strictest abortion laws in the nation. A Memphis man will spend 10 years in federal prison for firing a gun inside the Lyric Theater in Oxford. Desmond Bowen fired the shot after a fight broke out on the double-decker weekend last April. Prosecutors say the bullet hit the underside of a balcony, ricocheted, and hit a person. Now, a shell casing was found at the scene. There's also video showing Bowen shooting a gun. Bowen was convicted of being a convicted felon in possession of ammunition. 3 people are facing charges after they're accused of trying to sneak drugs into the Lee County Jail. Samuel Lee and Kimberly Johnson of Tupelo and Randall Payne of Boonville are all charged with conspiracy to furnish contraband to a prisoner. Now, it's not known what the substance was, but it was found by a corrections officer before it could be delivered. The charges will be presented to the next Lee County grand jury. Time now to toss things over to Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson to get a first look at our forecast. Hey there, Keith.
It's got a great day, a pretty nice sunset across the region with some of those clouds drifting on in. That was the view in Sullivan, Alabama, and Lamar County. Speaking of Lamar County, this is how it looked at Durham's Pharmacy in Vernon. Some of those high clouds streaming on in this evening. A great day. Temperatures topped out in the 70s. We still have some of those high clouds out there. We are dry. Moisture back to the northwest, showers and storms. That's going to stay to our northwest. Temperatures now as of 11, what time is it? 11:19, very late on our Thursday. Mid-50s to around 60 out there. And for your day tomorrow, worst case scenario, we start out in the upper 40s to low 50s, back into the mid to possibly upper 70s tomorrow. Scott, more in your full forecast in just a few minutes.
Working to meet the needs of Lowndes County storm victims is the purpose of a new committee. It met for the first time today. The long-term recovery group is focusing on housing. Faith-based groups, volunteer agencies, and community members are all joining forces to help. Our Dory Talley has more.
Flooding in the February 23rd tornado impacted 273 homes and businesses across Lowndes County. A little over a month later, the scars of the storms are still seen across the area. Dozens of victims are also still trying to figure out where they will be living 6 months from now. That's what the Long-Term Recovery Committee is working to help change.
This committee is going to help guide others for resources, for helping rebuild, all these kinds of things, but it takes a community to do that, and not just one individual and not a government agent. It takes the community.
We're looking and recruiting for people that want to be a part of something that's going to be a long-term commitment. So this is not going to be one of those groups that you're going to be able to join and finish in a month and you're done with this. We're looking for a long-term commitment so that we can reach every member in the community that was affected if they need some unmet needs.
Damage on a carport, shingles blown off of roofs of homes that don't have the insurance to get that completely taken care of. These are the types of unmet needs the committee wants to help meet.
The unmet needs just kind of depends on the individual. I have individuals that lost their nebulizer, their CPAP machine, and there's no one to replace that. Unmet needs could be a wide variety, and that's the reason we're going to need case managers to actually go and see how can we be effective.
Out of the nearly 300 damaged structures, 31% of them were rental properties and 36% of storm victims didn't have insurance.
It's going to be those that maybe you did not have the insurance. I'm sorry, maybe I've heard that some insurance lapped in between and you just need the assistance, and you'll just be amazed at how many people were affected that did not have the insurance. Maybe they were renting.
Tommy Gillen is the minister of 55 Plus Ministries and Disaster Relief and Missions at Fairview Baptist Church. He's helped reach unmet needs for storm victims all over the country. Now, he says it's time for him to do that same thing at home.
Been working in storms in the past several years, as far away as Orange, Texas, Houston, Texas, and just recently down in Florida. You see the needs of the people, and some of them just aren't getting any help, and they need help, and they're willing to do their part to get help. And that's what I want to do, is just all about the people.
The group is looking for more people to get involved. They're encouraging anyone interested to come to their next meeting. That's going to happen April 10th at 10 a.m. at the Lowndes County Emergency Management Agency.
It feels like spring out there right now. We have temperatures in the 50s to around 60. Lows tonight, as we just mentioned, worst case scenario, upper 40s to low 50s out there. Mild for the next few days, but we do have some cooler weather coming and a chance for some rain. More on that after the break.
WCBI First Alert AccuWeather Forecast with Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson.
We had a great Thursday. We ended it with a pretty nice sunset. The time lapses from Columbus, Louisville, Vernon, and Tupelo shows what was going on this evening. Not a lot. Hopefully you took advantage of the great weather, mild temperatures, and just a great day. We do have some higher clouds still drifting on in, but the rain and the storms rumbling through Missouri and Illinois right now, that is moving east, not south. The air is still relatively dry, so we don't really have to worry about a lot in the near term. There is some cooler air back to the northwest. That will start to filter in by Sunday, but over your Friday, Saturday, we stay relatively mild. Speaking of mild, look at the national high today in the Big Bend area of Texas, 98 degrees in Rio Grande Village. And the national low today down to 8 in Berlin, New Hampshire. So it can still get chilly this time of year, even down here, but we are actually trending upward as far as the overnight lows. By Saturday morning, only 50s, but we are still advertising Monday morning down into the mid-30s, maybe low 30s, so not completely done with that frost threat, even though we will be getting into a new month very soon. Rain and storms likely Saturday with this cold front, primarily in the afternoon and evening. Maybe a strong storm or two, gusty wind, perhaps a little bit of hail, some heavy downpours, thunder and lightning. No widespread severe weather expected on Saturday with this front. Let me show you this with Futurecast. As we get into our Friday, more cloud cover than what we had today. Still warm though. Not really a lot of moisture here. As we get into your Saturday, notice how the clouds start to build on up. We may see a few spotty showers during the day, but really, if we're going to see any heavier rain, it's going to be during the late afternoon. This is 6 o'clock, and Futurecast picking up on a narrow line of showers and storms with this frontal boundary coming on in right along the front. So a few of those could be gusty, maybe a little bit of hail too. You can see the front will sweep on through here during the evening. Behind it, much cooler air, but more stable air. Tomorrow we are looking at temperatures in the mid-70s across our region, a mix of sun and clouds, winds from the south at about 5 to 15 miles per hour. Today we were about 74, 75 degrees. Same ballpark tomorrow, maybe a degree or two warmer in some spots, and pretty nice across all of Mississippi and Alabama tomorrow. No travel troubles here for our Friday. Here's your AccuWeather 70 forecast. 77 for your Friday and Saturday, 59, that's it on Sunday, 62 Monday. But we're back into the 70s, Scott, by Tuesday, or by Wednesday and Thursday of next week.
Dozens were living their best lives tonight at the kickoff party for the 79th annual Spring Pilgrimage. Live music by the band Just a Few Cats, shrimp and crawfish from Huck's. No better way to kick off 2 weeks of fun to take place here in the Friendly City. We caught up with one woman who made the trip all the way from Houston, Texas, just to be here.
I drove 8.5 hours to come to this pilgrimage. And I said, we are going, I'm not going to miss it. We're going to spend 3 days and 3 nights, and we are going to party!
And we are so glad she is here. The tour of homes will pick back up tomorrow. There's a carriage ride, the carriage rides for $5. Also, Saturday is the 6th annual Pilgrimage 5K. Check out our website to see the list of the tours. Hail State Hoops makes the cross-country trek to keep their championship hopes alive. We check in on Oregon, where it's still prime time when we come back. Welcome back. Sinuses affect a lot of us here in Mississippi, especially right now during the spring. Tonight, doctors discuss recovery after a procedure to help clear out those sinus problems in our Health Talk with Baptist.
Hi, I'm Dr. Stephen Smith, part of the otolaryngology team at Baptist Memorial Hospital Golden Triangle. Tonight I want to discuss recovery after balloon sinuplasty. A balloon sinuplasty is considered a relatively non-invasive procedure, meaning that it does not cause much trauma to the nasal cavity. As a result, recovery time is usually minimal. While recovery time varies with each patient, you should be able to go home the same day as the procedure and resume normal activities within a few days. While there is a small risk of infection or mucosal trauma following balloon sinuplasty, the advantages far outweigh the minimal risk. The procedure is safe and effective and has even been approved for the treatment of chronic sinusitis in children. It enlarges the openings of the sinuses without removal of bone or soft tissue, preserving the normal anatomy of the mucosa of the sinus. It is less invasive than traditional sinus surgery, meaning minimal bleeding, less postoperative pain, less scarring, and a faster recovery time. It can be used along with other sinus treatment options and does not limit future sinus procedures. The results have shown a clinically significant improvement in quality of life and sinus symptoms. Balloon sinuplasty can be performed as an in-office procedure under local anesthesia. It is a good option for those with sinus problems who are opposed to surgery under general anesthesia. Join us next time for Health Talk with Baptist.
Mail your topic suggestions to healthtalk@wcbi.com. Health Talk has been brought to you by Baptist Memorial Hospital Golden Triangle.
Preparation for the Sweet 16 is underway from Mississippi State. A live report from the Rip City coming up next in sports.
AA tournament coverage of the MSU Bulldogs in Portland, Oregon is brought to you by Visit Columbus, the city that has it all. Monroe County Farm Bureau, Columbus Orthopedic Clinic and Outpatient Center, Aberdeen RV, family owned, family focused, and Bank First, a better way to bank.
Preparing for Sweet 16s has become the new normal for Hail State Hoops. Vic Schaefer and company getting to work in the City of Roses. WCBI Sports' Courtney Robb has more from Portland on a busy day of basketball with the Dogs.
Welcome into the Moda Center in Portland, Oregon. Normally, the Portland Trailblazers are hitting the hardwood here to get some reps in, but for this weekend, it will actually be women's basketball athletes because the Sweet 16 and the Elite 8 will be here for the NCAA tournament. Mississippi State with their 4th consecutive trip back to the Sweet 16, and there was lots of uncertainty with how this Bulldog was going to be at the beginning of the season. Mississippi State losing 4 starters this season, as well as having 2 transfers coming, and then in January, Chloe Bibby going down with that terrible injury and being announced that she would be out for the remainder of the season. But someone that has stepped up big in Bibby's place has been Andra Espinoza-Hunter. She's been huge for Mississippi State from beyond the arc, and definitely something that the Bulldogs needed after not only losing Chloe Bibby, but also losing Blair Schaefer from last season.
Just like last year, we had Blair on the wing, and I would find her in certain spots. Andy's the same way. She can knock it down, and when she's hot, she's hot.
My teammates and coaches' confidence in me helps my confidence in myself. So, when they're telling me to shoot the ball and, they feel like I'm hot, then that's when I'm going, and, I just feel good.
Really just stepped into the role so easily, and she's really been that outside threat that we've needed, and I think she's continued to work on her game, and, she's really stepped up on defense, and she's really been that, player that we are able to go to, to hit those big shots when everyone's collapsing in on Tierra and Ariel, because they're so good, and we need someone like that out there.
And Espinoza-Hunter is currently shooting about 42% from downtown. We can expect the 3-point shot to be a big factor in that game on Friday against the Sun Devils, because the Sun Devils are probably going to attack Andriel Howard and Tierra McCowan inside the paint. And head coach Vic Schaefer saying that in each of their games when they've had these big blowout wins, he's seen some kind of run at some point in the game, and I think a 3-point shot would be the perfect thing to do just that. That's going to be it for me here at the Moda Center. Courtney Robb for WCBI Sports. I'll send it back to you in Columbus.
Thank you, Courtney. Big-time baseball in Starkville. Bulldogs taking on LSU. Trouble for Ethan Small early. Daniel Cabrera gets a hold of a pitch up in the zone. 2-run homer gives LSU the lead. A little bit of stamp at home plate. Remember that. Small would settle in, though, and strike out 10. The answer wouldn't wait long. Bottom third, Justin Foscue staying scalding hot. crushes one toward the lofts in left field. 3-run homer gives Mississippi State the lead, and then up 4-2 here. Elijah McNamee tattoos one down the right field line. Tailing, would it be gone? Yeah, everyone cheers, so yes, it has to be. The homer would be reviewed and confirmed. Palmineri, not a fan. It wouldn't matter because the very next batter, Foscue again, sends one out to the grills. Barbecue and baseball, 6-2 Mississippi State. Foscue gives a stamp at home plate. This is my house. And then the magic mustache in to stave off an LSU run. Tigers make it 6-5, but Dustin Skelton calls game, picks off the runner, trying to steal second. That's your ball game. Bulldogs win 6-5. They take game 1 of the series. Some crazy softball in Fulton between Itawamba HS and Pontotoc. Lady Warriors up 2-0. In the third, make it 3-0. Sky Vaughn out to center field for the home run. Then Itawamba HS tacking on some runs and taking the lead. Kaylee Owens with an RBI, 3 RBI base hit. So Lady Indians take a 4-3 lead. They add another, makes it 5-3, and then Maggie Collum makes it 7-3 with a 2-run homer out to left field. Lady Warriors wouldn't quit though. In the 6th, Abigail Anderson with a solo shot makes it 7-4. Pontotoc rallies all the way back to get the win, 8-7. And really quick, Thursday night softball with Houston taking on Nettleton. The Hilltoppers have been red hot this year. That'd be PJ Cooper keeping it rolling. It'd be 3-0 for Houston after the second inning, and that's all they'd need to go see the full highlights, as well as highlights of Pickens County and South Lamar baseball. Go over to our website, WCBI.com. We'll have Alaska forecast next.
Hey, there's our 7 day. Sorry, I was dozing off here because it's almost midnight, and we're going to have to do this again tomorrow night, too. Nice weather tomorrow, 70s, a chance for some rain and storms on Saturday.
Oh, but tomorrow's 77. It's going to be a nice day out there.
Day off?
Oh, yeah.
Management, are you listening?
I hope you're watching.
They're sleeping already,
They
too.
probably are, because we're ready to go sleep. So we'll see you tomorrow.